to the Indicator Warehouse. In this video, we're going to take a look at the all-new Roadrunner and the Trade Manager. The Trade Manager is a very sophisticated piece of trading software for the retail trader. It allows you to maximize your profitability while minimizing your risk exposure. It's also an order platform so that you can place orders directly to your broker via your NinjaTrader chart. All right, let me just go over the Trade Manager here really quickly, and then I'll show you how it's used. The Trade Manager is roughly divided into three components. The top component are your buy and sell and close buttons, along with your current market position, as well as your P&L. You'll notice there's also a panic exit button, and what that does, it will flatten all positions related to this account. So if you have more than one open position and all of a sudden something really strange happens and you have to get out in a hurry, hit your panic exit button and that will flatten all orders associated with this account. The P&L is also on a toggle, so you can change it from a dollar amount to a tick amount to a percentage of your account, or you can blank it out completely if you find it too distracting. Below the P&L, we have the market data, so you can see the current bid and ask as well as the price range itself. Below that, we have what we refer to as the Profit Manager portion of Trade Manager. This is an assortment of 16 different stop strategies, all of which are fully customizable and automated. So when you turn it on, these blue dots here will represent how Trade Manager would move your stops for you if you had selected this particular stop strategy. And like I said, it's customizable. You can make it more aggressive if you like, or you can make it a little bit more conservative. And as I said, there's 16 of these different stop strategies for you to choose from. So you can find whatever stop strategy happens to be suiting the market conditions best. Below the Profit Manager portion of the Trade Manager, we have the Risk Manager portion. This is a very important part of Trade Manager. It's what makes it truly unique, and this is the part that enables you to control your risk while maximizing your profitability. We have our Set Prices button so that we can set our orders. Once the orders are done, I'll show you this in a minute, we can submit the order. There's 4 different order types to choose from. We can also set a stop limit, how many ticks slippage we're prepared to accept on a trade. So if you're trading a very fast moving market or a very volatile market, perhaps something like crude oil, you can control your slippage right here. You can limit how much slippage you're prepared to accept on a fill. The quantity area here is grayed out. That's because my current mode for the Trade Manager is the risk percent mode, which defaults to this value right here. Currently, I am risking 2% of my capital on a trade. That means no matter how I set up the trade, Trade Manager will always cap the risk at 2%. So for instance, if I'm trading a $10,000 account, my maximum risk exposure will be $200. Trade Manager will not allow me to trade any more than that. If you click on the risk percent module, you will see that you go to manual mode, and then the quantity area is no longer grayed out. You can set the quantity of units that you would like to trade. So if you're trading a futures contract, you can set it at 1, 2, 3, whatever you like. If you're trading Forex, you can set it at however many lots you would like to trade. Trade Manager also has the ability to preset as many as 3 profit objectives. So currently I am set up on a 50-50 split. So target 1, I'm going to take half off at target 1. I've got the rest on as a runner. But if I chose, I could set targets 2 and targets 3. So let's say I wanted to take profit in thirds. So I would set target 1 at 33%, target 2 at 33%, and I would leave the remaining 33% as a runner. I've already got target 1 preset at 200 ticks. Let's say I'll take target 2 at 400 pips, and target 3 of course is a runner, so that stays open. So now if I set up a trade, just to show you quickly how this works, let's say I'm going to buy above here and put my stop loss here where the trade manager is suggesting, then my trade will look something like this, where I'm currently risking 2% of my capital, and I would have 255 lots. This is the euro US dollar pound, so it's a forex market. This is my quantity, and you can see I'm taking a third at target 1, another third at target 2, and then the rest remains a runner. If you don't want Trade Manager to preset your targets, you can click here on Tick Targets Enabled, and that allows you to set your targets wherever you want. So let's say I'm going to buy above the high, I'm going to risk here, and let's say I want to take profit here at this first resistance line, and I'll take my second profit at the second resistance line. So you see Trade Manager allows me to select my profit objectives as well. So if this trade works out according to plan, I'll have 264 lots in play. My risk is capped at 2% of my capital, and then target 1 is set and target 2 is set. I mentioned that one of the key features of Trade Manager was that this risk percent mode prevents you from risking too much of your capital while maximizing your profitability on a trade. Let me show you exactly how that works. So let's say we're going to enter above the high here. The mistake that most traders make, especially new traders, is that they keep their stop losses too tight. They don't give the market any room at all to move, and as you know, the markets rarely make a straight line. Going from A to B, there's going to be pullbacks, the market's going to chop around a little bit, so the objective is not to get stopped out prematurely. With the Trade Manager, there's no longer a need to try to keep your stops ultra tight in hopes that you're going to not risk too much of your capital. With Trade Manager, it's all taken care of for you right here at this risk percent amount. So let's say we're going to enter above this high, and let's say we want to keep our stops right here, really nice and close. Okay, notice the risk amount. The $445. Now that's 2% of my capital. Yours might be more or less. But let's take a look at that same trade. And what if we risk the amount down here? Oh, look at that. The risk amount is the same. That's because Trade Manager is capping my risk at 2% of my capital. But which trade is more likely to work out? The trade with the really tight stop or the trade with the more liberal stop? Answer should be obvious. The trade with the wider stop will have a greater probability of success. It's far more likely that the market will go up here and find my profit target before it reverses and hits my stop loss. However, if my stop loss is really, really close, as it is here, there's a very good chance the market may reverse and stop me out before it goes on to my profit objective. Trade Manager automatically adjusts your position size to keep your risk constant. This is a key component and something that most traders never catch on to. If you want to be a successful trader, you need to control your risk. Most traders make the mistake of thinking they're going to control their position size by controlling how many contracts they trade, and they rarely pay attention to how much money they have at risk. That's the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is to keep your risk constant and adjust your position size relative to the risk amount. Notice how Trade Manager decreases your risk exposure as your stop gets further away. However, your dollar risk amount never ever changes. That's very important. So you can see it's an incredible tool, a huge asset, and it doesn't matter whether you're trading Forex or futures or stocks. Let's take a look at a futures market as an example. This is the E-mini S&P with the Trade Manager. And currently I'm set up with a 50-50 split, and I have a 20 tick profit objective. Again, I'm capping my risk at 2%. Most professionals agree that 2% is a prudent amount of your capital to risk. You're not going to ruin yourself by risking 2% of your capital. So let's just say that I was looking to short below that low and cover above here. You can see once again, Trade Manager, this is a futures market now, controlling my risk exposure. So I've got $325 at risk, and I can afford to trade 2 contracts if I choose to set up the trade this way. if, say, I chose to place my stop a little bit further away still, let's say I wanted to put it above the median line, then Trade Manager says, okay, you can do that. However, your exposure is going to be reduced from 2 contracts to 1 contract. Let's say I wanted to keep my stop a little bit further away still. Let's say I'm going to place it 2 zones back. Oh, Trade Manager says, no, sorry, given my account size, I can't afford a trade like that. So you see, Trade Manager protects you all the way. It keeps you from overcapitalizing a bad position. It helps you maximize your earnings on winning position. And that's the exact opposite of what most traders tend to do. So Trade Manager, a very valuable piece of software, very easy to use. You can see it's just a couple of clicks. So we would set our prices, set our stop. If I have a preset profit target, it's all good to go. I just hit the submit button and then my order is pending. And if the market comes down from here, then of course it will fill me on the order. The buy and sell buttons will get you into a trade immediately. So let's say I wanted to get short on the market and I wanted to use my ATR stop. Let's just dial that back a little bit. If I hit the sell button, you can see Trade Manager immediately setting up my position with my stops and my order, my break even, and my profit objective. It's all fully automated, and as the market would continue lower, Trade Manager will automatically roll my stops as per my selected stop strategy. So that's a huge benefit of Trade Manager as well. It actually allows you to trade multiple markets at the same time because you're not having to babysit each chart. You can set your stop strategy and then you can go look at another market knowing that Trade Manager will manage the trade to completion automatically. That's the Trade Manager along with the all-new Roadrunner from Indicator Warehouse. This truly is one piece of software that will make a big difference in your trading success. And remember, whether you're trading futures, Forex, or stocks, Indicator Warehouse will help you get more from your technical analysis efforts. Thank you for watching.